right, thanks everyone for being here and spending the time with us and staying with us. My name is Jim Penna. I'm the manager of retirement services. I've been here also for about 13 years. It's funny because as manager of retirement services, right now what I'm going to talk about is flight to safety and places where you can go in this type of market. So I'm going to change gears a little bit as well. But my experience has been on trading desks for brokerage firms and then for a larger market making firm. So I do trade more than I let on as a member of the retirement services department. Couple of quick questions. Somebody asked earlier, I think it was Gordon, do you guys put on any of these trades yourself? Do you own or trade these? And I'll speak for myself, and I won't speak for these guys, but I'm pretty sure I know the answer is that yes, we do. A couple of the positions that we talk about, I've had in my own portfolio. I know you guys have too. Just so you guys know, we're not just randomly picking stocks and trading stocks. But I saw that earlier, and I wanted to comment on that. So I'm going to go through my two stocks here, and they're going to be very different from what our usual hot stock panels talk about. They're the last two on the list. They are both ETFs. Glenn, if you want to highlight those last two there, GOVT and SPTI. And what we're going to talk about here are basically ETFs where they're lower priced, but they're places where you can go in and invest in treasuries, right? Because with interest rates falling and the Fed cutting and interest rates low anyway, that inverse relationship has these funds doing well. So not only is it a flight to safety, but when we look at a graph, we'll get an idea of the movement of these, what would be called very conservative plays. Again, safety plays. So I put two in here. One is the iShares US Treasury. The other one is Spider. It's intermediate term, 3 to 5 year treasuries. The other, I believe, is more of the 10-year treasuries. So Glenn, let's go ahead. What I want to do first is go to right click on either one of those, and let's go to View Stock Analysis Report. Because the first thing I want to make sure you guys have clear is when you're looking at ETFs, it's easy to understand what the SPY tracks or the Qs. We know the underlying stocks or basket of stocks that it tracks. We have now over 1,600 ETFs in the VectorVest program. Okay, there are all types of ETFs that track all kinds of things. So I go here to make sure that you guys, if you're buying an ETF that you're not familiar with, please understand the business description behind it and the underlying basket or index that it tracks before you buy anything. Now this is pretty straightforward. It just tracks the performance of Barclays US Treasury Bond Index, right? So that's all it's doing. You can see both a 3-month graph on GOVT itself and then the industry graph. And it's funny, if I didn't tell you what these were, they would look like hot stocks, right? So Glenn, you can close out of that. I just wanted to show how you find that. And we could just take a look at the graphs to get an idea. There are places you can go without actually shorting or buying contra ETFs where, again, this flight to safety is available to you. You've got some dividend payouts here. You've got some growth. As you can see, that's a 3-month look at this. And again, with treasury, 10-year treasuries, I think when I came up here was about 0.92 on the rate. So people are flooding to this, whether it's a shorter term. If you look at things like the market climate graph, where the earnings trend indicator, while it's not fallen and is still favorable, that earnings growth rate has slowed down. You've got inflation rising. If you go to the climate graph, interest rates obviously are falling. But if you're in a retirement portfolio and you're looking for a flight to safety, something like this may be where you want to go. Now, there's another great one. TLT is a good one. It also does the treasuries, but it's $150, so I wanted to keep the price a little lower here. So here's a good one. And Glenn, you could just scroll to the next, or I don't know if you can scroll to it, or there you go. All right, I have a few graphs up here. I'll start with XLU. The other is utilities. We talked about utilities earlier. If you look at the top sectors right now, utilities are there, so it's another great place to generate income with the lower interest rates through dividends. You can scroll down, Glenn. I'll just show these. All the idea or the concept or narrative behind all of these, you can scroll down the graphs, I mean.
Oh, okay.
are all the same. The narrative's all the same. This is the TLT I was talking about. This one's $150-something per share. And so, I went with the lower one, but it does the same thing. It's fixed income treasury. It's, I think, the number 4 ranked industry currently in the program. And so 3 of the stocks I'm showing, right, again, if you didn't know what I was showing, look at the relative timing, look at the price pattern on these things. You might think it was just a stock from one of the searches we've talked about. So a great place to go in. I talked about utilities. Steve, who had LPX? Who had LPX? Todd had LPX. The REIT. So that was a great one.
No, I did. That was LXP.
Oh, you did.
Why are you taking credit for what you didn't do?
Somebody had a
Todd.
REIT. It was like hours ago. Somebody had a REIT. And so that falls in there as well. So really my take today on hot stocks is...
You want me to go to the next one?
Yeah, you can go to the next one. I forget which one I had. Here's another one, just the same idea. This one actually, BSCO, is actually corporate bonds. So it's fixed income, not the treasury, but this is corporate bonds. And so you see there is this flight there. And again, if you look at some of the bigger picture on what's going on as earnings come up for the next round, we already know companies like Apple and Microsoft are already saying this virus has hurt earnings. So just something to consider. If you've got cash or you've got positions in your retirement portfolio and you still want them to grow, you want some dividends, you want some safety, these type of ETFs, this fixed income treasury ETFs, I think are a great way to go, along with utilities as well. So XLU was, I don't want to go through 5 different stocks, but XLU might be a place that you can go as well. And that's really it. It's just that kind of that safe haven if you're looking to get there.
The other thing I like about that is we often forget that there's a capital side of bonds. Right?
Yeah.
We all worry about the yield is so low. It's like, well, okay.
Yeah.
I saw somebody on CNBC yesterday or the day before, can't remember his name, but yeah, that was all he could talk about. He even thinks late in the year, could be the best place to be.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to predict, and again, it's not your 2-week swing trade here, but if you look at again the bigger picture, the 30,000-foot view of what's going on, again, it is a more prudent, conservative outlook on it, but something certainly to consider. Having any 1 or 2 or 3 of these, as a safe haven in your portfolio might be a great way to go.
I'm going to start off real quick. If you look at all of these, and Jim's perspective from the flight to safety, every single one of these.
Go and scroll down a little while you're talking. On the control panel.
Yeah. As I'm looking at, dividends is not on. Do you want me to put dividends
Yeah,
on?
I just want to show you. You're also going to, that's the whole idea behind.
Let's go put that. Let's
the utility. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you about it.
Well, you did, and it is.
I did mean it. I just was trying to be polite.
Look at that dividend, $1.91.
Show the yield, Glenn.
You want the yield?
Yeah.
All right, we'll do that too. Add parameter.
Again, I could walk through 20 great utility stocks to own, but the XLU for what we're talking about here is just good. Got just about a 2%, just under a 2% yield.
I am loving the stocks that were on these. I don't think anybody, for the most part, talks about this kind of stuff. No matter where you look, everybody's focusing on stocks. And it is what it is, but I love the mentality of, wait a minute, folks, why not look at the ETF? I love that you looked at the stock analysis to get a better picture of what it looks like before you jump on board with it, what the industry looks like over the last 3 months, what the stock looks like, or the ETF looks like over the last 3 months. But just look at each and every one of them, a 40-day moving average, simple moving average on these as well. And then nicely above. Look at, with the coronavirus going on, look at what's going on with this stock. It's been kind of resilient to the pullback in the market. Dude, what else would you like to have? That's awesome.
More.
That is, and being able to bring this out, look at that. A little bit more, resilient to the coronavirus. Resilient to the coronavirus. Well, not as resilient, but hell. I said hell, sorry. And it's getting ready to bounce above the 40-day moving average.
That's utilities, a little different.
Oh, that's a utility, sorry. But look at those treasury ones that he showed. They were able to withstand that big pullback. during the coronavirus scare. So I wanted to start off that way. I wanted to get my little 2 cents out. Anybody else want to add to?
Already did.
Okay, there you go. So with that, that's everybody's picks. Go back to
That's
the
big for
watch
you?
list. I think
Yes.
that
You okay with that?
for the
Can I take 2 seconds?
no,
I just while you're back on the watch list. While you're back on the watch list, real quick, for those who might be new, relative value and safety, you see our flat 1. That's how we there's no fundamentals on the ETFs. That's why you see relative value and safety at 1. Just to be clear, in case anybody was wondering about that. And also growth rate, earnings per share. We don't calculate that for the ETFs. I just want to throw that out there.
I love the stocks that we came up with today, starting from the low dollar stocks that I gave, looking at the equity curve, looking at a different methodology by looking at the sectors. Todd brought that to the table. Steve brought to the table a good tried and true stock with Clorox, and then went off the reservation, but with good reason why he did. And being able, from a technical standpoint,
Yep.
look at where to get into the
Gotta bring it
stock.
out again.
Wow. That INO trade is an interesting trade, but a lot of times nobody's going to bring that to your attention. Nobody's going to bring that to your attention. And then this man right here always brings the retirement side. No matter what goes on in these panels, no matter what the theme is, he always brings a retirement feel to help even those people who are in retirement to get in the right stock. So I love the panel. Thank you guys for all being here. You guys were awesome. We do have a link. Joey, can you put it in the room? I know I have it, but can you put it in the room? There's a link for any of you who are brand new, who are not subscribers to the software. Joey's going to type a link in there where you can subscribe to the VectorVest software on a trial for 99 cents. For 99 cents. All right? I ain't going to say no more than that except for it's 99 cents. You're going to get free one-on-one training to help you get started. We have model portfolios powered by exclusive automated trading systems, unlimited world-class analysis of over 19,000 stocks globally, accurate market timing signals and guidance. And if you are a subscriber, you know how well our market timing guidance was prior to the coronavirus breakout. And a couple of other things that we do here on YouTube tomorrow. We have Trending Thursday, where I do a live presentation on what stocks are moving in the market, and we look at the news stories. We look at the power of the VectorVest software that you just saw today on a live YouTube presentation. We also have a live presentation every Thursday at 11 o'clock on Facebook. Patrick France talks about our mobile app. He supports the mobile app. Every person who has a subscription to the software has access to the mobile app, and many of you don't even realize it. Patrick France, every Thursday at 11 o'clock, walks you through how to use the mobile app. If you know someone who would enjoy this panel, please feel free to share it. What did you do, Joey? Oh, please feel free to show it. Share it. All right? And if you're new, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the channel. And with that, folks, we're done. Hopefully, for those of you who are new, you found it informative, you found it fun. You know what I like about what we do? We're not stuffed shirts going, hey, well, Steve, what do you think about stock? Well, I think the... And then Jim goes, oh, I know, I'm retirement. Forget all of that. We kick off our shoes a little bit. We have a little bit of fun. But that's, you know something, the more fun we make it, the more relaxed you are. The more relaxed you are, the more you will take this in. So many stocks that you have not been aware of that are moving, we presented for you. And with that, try it, use it. And that's what it's for. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. With that, folks, and thanks to Todd Schaefer, to Steve Chappell, to Jim Penna. Once again, I am Glenn Tompkins. We're about to sign off. You know, I need to do, who used to do that on TV? Take up the ball, the paper, and throw it at the camera?
David Letterman, I think.
Was it David Letterman? No, he threw the pen. So I need to come up with something to sign off with. Maybe I'll just
throw the mug.
Maybe I'll just throw the mug. Anyway, with that,
Some
folks.
nice comments. So thank people for the nice comments.
Thank everybody who
You see,
commented
I'm
in.
reading on the comments. It's very nice.
In
Thanks,
between
guys.
in between time, I was replying to some of that, but Thank you all for your comments. We do appreciate it. And with that, adios, arrivederci, ciao, au revoir, sayonara. I may see some of you tomorrow. Later.